Hello guys, and welcome to How to Yu-Gi-Oh, a segment on my channel where I'll be teaching you the basics of Yu-Gi-Oh in a fashion such as this. So, in today's Yu-Gi-Oh video, we'll be teaching you how to XC summon with our lovely XC's monsters in front of us, our spell, and our two monsters. These cards will teach you how to fusion XC summon through various different ways, and how to actually XC summon properly, and also use XC's monsters' effects. So, without further ado, let's get into the video to teach you how to XC summon. So, we'll start off by showing you where our lovely XC's monsters here go. They will always go in the extra monster zone where they start off in the duel. Unless they are destroyed in the main monster zone, they will end up in the graveyard. We will be using this zone as our extra monster zone, as our extra deck zone, because I do not have the space because of where I am using it, and I would very much like to show you how to do this. So, for our XC's materials, we'll be using our Gargagar Magician and Gargagar Mancer here, two level 4 monsters, very important, and they're going to start off in the main monster zones. So, how do we XC summon? Well, it's actually very easy to XC summon in Yu-Gi-Oh! All you need to XC summon is two monsters that meet the requirements on an XC's monster. You do not need a tuner monster, and you also do not need a fusion spell. XC summoning was the first summoning mechanic from the extra deck, which was actually the easiest way to summon an extra deck monster out of all the mechanics. So, it is actually very easy to summon these cards from the extra deck. And to summon them, all you need is two monsters with the same level, unless the card states otherwise. So, let's go ahead and start off by showing you how to summon our number 39 Utopia, which requires two level 4 monsters. So, to XC summon our 39 Utopia, all you need to do is place two monsters with the same level on top of each other in the same zone, and then summon Utopia on top of them. Now, Utopia will either be going to the extra monster zone or any of the main monster zones, because due to the new Master Rule 2020 revisions, you can summon XC's monsters to any zone you would like to, including the extra monster zone. Extra deck cards can go in the extra monster zones, but they cannot go in the main monster zones. Normal monsters and effect monsters cannot go into the extra monster zone, so that's just where they go. Now, how do we actually use an XC's monster's effect? Because on the card it says you need to detach a material to use Utopia's effect. Well, let's say our opponent has declared an attack on Utopia with a monster with more attack. Well, it's very simple. All you need to do is to use its effect is to take a material that is underneath Utopia, send it to the graveyard, and then you have successfully used Utopia's effect. Detaching is basically considered taking the material from under an XC's monster and putting it in the graveyard. That's how you are able to use the effects of XC's monsters, unless it states otherwise, because there are XC's monsters out there that will not require an XC's material to actually use said effect. Now, what other ways are there actually to XC summon in Yu-Gi-Oh? Well, there is one way which was at the early beginning of Yu-Gi-Oh! And is still currently used, which is rank up magic spells. Today we'll be using rank up Magic Barion's Force, because this is one of the earlier ones that was used to actually XC summon XC's monsters. So, how do we use this card? Well, to use this card, all we need to do is activate it in the spell and trap card zone, such as any other spell and trap card that you would want to use, and target a rank 4 XC's monster, and summon one C number monster on top of it. Various rank up spells have different effects, such as the rank up magic launch, requiring a dark XC's monster with no XC's materials on it. So, because we have used this card, we are going to go ahead and summon on top of our Utopia, number C39 Utopia Ray. And of course, to use this effect, all you need to do is detach an XC's material, send it to the graveyard, and then you can use its effect, unless an XC's monster's effect states otherwise. So, that's one other way to XC summon monsters, but there are also actually other ways to go into other XC's monsters. So we'll go ahead and put our Ray back in the X deck and show you another method to actually XC summon an XC's monster from the extra deck. Now, there are some monsters such as Utopia Lightning, which require either 3 level 5 monsters or to a specific monster to XC summon it onto the board. Now, Utopia Lightning, all you need to do to XC summon this card without any other cards is to have a Utopia rank 4 monster on the board. So, all you need to do, just as we use the rank up magic spell, we place the Utopia Lightning on top of the Utopia, and that is how you can XC summon and through another method as well, such as using XC's monsters on the board. This is also a method that is commonly used in Yu-Gi-Oh! To XC summon monsters, which can be XC summoned through various ways, such as this. There are other cards that do this as well, such as Illusion Magician, which can also be XC summoned by putting it on top of a rank 6 spellcaster XC's monster. So, let's go ahead and put this back in the X deck and show you one more way to actually XC summon in Yu-Gi-Oh! So, we're not going to need Utopia for this. All we're going to need for this is 2 XC's monsters in the main monster zone. Because there are some monsters that can actually be XC summoned using XC's monsters. Now, these XC's monsters are ones like Utopic Future. Now, we do not have all of these in the TCG yet, but we are going to be showing you how to summon this as well. So, to summon this, all you need is 2 XC's monsters of the same rank that aren't number monsters. Utopic Future, being one of these cards that can be summoned using XC's monsters, we'll be using this as the example. So, we have our 2 XC's monsters in the main monster zone, and all we're going to do is, just like our level 4 monsters, place them on top of each other and summon Utopic Future over these two. Now, Utopic Future also does have an effect that does not require it to detach materials, such as which will allow you to also take control of opponent monsters until the end of the turn. So, that is also how you XC summon through various ways, guys. There are the XC summons through rank up magic spells. There are ways to XC summon through the common method, that all you do is put monsters on top of each other and then make Utopia. There are ways to XC summon just by putting a Utopia monsters on top of other XC's monsters, and obviously with rank up spells that can be done through these methods. So guys, that is how you XC summon. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to see more How to Yu-Gi-Oh! Videos and other types of content on this channel, and I will see you guys in the next one. Robot1 signing out. Later all.